Hey everyone! I wanted to make a video today because I really want to pass you a torch. And it's the same torch that was passed to me that really made all the difference in my life. And that is the torch of leadership. Now, before you want to go, no, this is this is not for me, click, I want you to hear me out. So, when I was younger, I had that natural leadership knack. And I mean, you name it. Anything I got into, I was always trying to get into some kind of leadership position in it. So you name it. ROTC, I was a lieutenant commander. Band, I was a band captain. Theater, I was directing. I even got into a program that was strictly a leadership program. So I went from all of that, targeting like 180 miles an hour, to graduating high school, going to college, and it went to 0. And I took absolutely no initiative, well, pretty much no initiative on leadership for the next 6 or 7 years. I just had no desire. I was working jobs I didn't care about and getting by and living life and being young and, you know, doing all those things that a lot of us do. And I have no regrets about that time in my life. I had a great time. But it didn't get me anywhere. You know, I was working in Fortune 500 companies, but I was taking no initiative to actually try to move up or get anywhere that meant something. And it wasn't until I had my son. I was 24, and it was a surprise, but it was an even bigger surprise that it stirred something up in me that made me go, you know what? This isn't working, and I have to do something more because now I'm responsible to somebody else. So in other words, I became a leader finally, at least in my own life and family. Because if you have children, you are the leader amongst your small tribe there. So you are a leader in that way. And that led me through, I went to dental school, became a dental assistant, started working a job. And what's funny about me during those years, and something that I'll tell you is very different this year, is it took a lot of stretching of my leadership muscle to get my life to where I want it to be. And I'm still stretching. But back then, it literally took me getting pregnant to finally step up and say, I need to do something better. I need to do something more than what I'm doing now, and go to dental school and become a dental assistant, get a job. Well, then I was working in a job that I loved because the people were awesome. The people were outstanding. I loved working with these people. And I wouldn't have left. And I could see that it was going to be a very slow growth process in that company. My pay was really low to begin with. It wasn't anything like too low or below industry standard, but it was low. And I knew that it was going to be a slow process to get myself up to somewhere where I'd be happy. But I wouldn't have left because I loved the people, and I would have just stayed. And within a year, I was pushed off the cliff when that business closed. And I look back at that, and it seems like such a horrible thing that a business closed. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me because it forced me to go and get a job somewhere else. Now, that job that I got elsewhere, working for a man, Dr. Peter Chen, who is one of the most awesome people that I've ever had the pleasure of working with, because he did something really significant, and I guarantee he doesn't even know how significant it was, but after I had been there for maybe a year or two, I can't even remember, probably about a year, he handed me a torch, and that was the torch of leadership, again, in that business. So now I was a leader in my family, and now I was becoming a leader in a business. And when I started, I was a leader of maybe a couple of people. And by the time I left, I was a leader of dozens. But that leads me to this year where I say I left. That was finally me, rather than getting pushed off the ledge. You know, it didn't take a pregnancy. It didn't take, you know, my livelihood being taken from me because my business closed. I finally took the step off the ledge when I knew it was just time, when things were really just not working for me anymore. And I said, okay, I'm not going to get pushed off the cliff. I'm going to step off because it's the right thing to do. And the only reason I was able to take that step was because I've been owning leadership in my own life. And that's why I want to tell you is that you are a leader. And you may only be a leader of your own life, of yourself, of where you are going. You may be a leader of your family. If you have a family, if you already have children and a husband or a wife, maybe you're a leader in a business. Maybe you're only still a one-man show and you're a leader of your clients. Or you have a couple of employees and you're a leader of them. Because let me tell you, one thing that you really, really have to own, I know so many business owners who don't see themselves as leaders. And that's a huge mistake because you are. Because these people look to you for their livelihood. Because people who are working jobs, they're desperate to be led by someone. They want to have a great leader overseeing their jobs and overseeing their lives. People want that. People are hungry for that. So own that leadership. Start stepping into that role in your life and in your business and whatever applies to you. But recognize that you are a leader. And that's my message for you today, because that was something that had gotten me so far. And when I let go of it, I got literally nowhere, and then I had to be shoved back into it. So if you take it and you own it and you say, you know what, I'm a leader in my own life and I'm not going to get anywhere by just sitting around waiting for someone else to come hand it to me. I need to take charge. I need to lead this whole show here, and then go and do it. Because you can. Because you are a leader. So go out there and do it. And that's all for today. Bye, guys.